And the match is starting. CSM minus Patch Wizard versus Watch over
Watch over
Daedalus.
Daedalus.
Daedalus. Is it Daedalus or Daedalus? I always
I
thought it
don't.
was
I've always
Daedalus.
pronounced it Daedalus. There was that
Hmm.
N6. I remember an N64 emulator that was named Daedalus. Actually, I
Maybe
guess I pronounce
they.
it both ways, and I go back and forth.
Hmm.
It's some like ancient mythology thing. I don't know.
What
Sounds
language
Greek.
is it? Yeah, I think it was Greek, ancient Greek. The
Anyways, we're
pronunciation is wrong.
gonna start off with Crimson Sky Menace, the red team. We have the Subame, a Mobula. From left to right, we have a flare gun, a Banshee, a center Gatling, another Banshee, and a flare gun. Strange, a close range Mobula with two flare guns, piloted by Leon Cross. Their ally, the Pocket Galleon. It is a squid piloted by Niels Jules, with the front light carronade, right side flamethrower, and a mine launcher.
And for Watch over Daedalus, we have the Nothing But Fog, Goldfish pilot by Master O Disaster. Cabinet from mine launcher, flame on the side, and for the last ship we have the WOD Firelock Aspire piloted by AOE Fox, Lumberjack front, Optimus Flame on top deck, and Black Flag on the bottom.
Yeah, that lumberjack. So I guess this would be the matchup. We were talking earlier about the Spire, how it's sort of weak to Artemis. But there are no Artemis in this game. This red Mobula has elected to bring exclusively close range weapons. So this lumberjack could be fairly effective in this match because it won't be disabled.
I guess they just intend to charge down the blue team with the squid and then have the mobile go in and support with somewhat medium range, close range Gatling Banshee. Just
Yeah, I don't.
surprising.
It's a strange build by the Mobula for sure. Choosing to go, they only have one armor. I guess they're probably just gonna dump all their guns at once, utilizing both the Gatling and the Banshees for whole armor destruction. Typically, for the exclusive brawler Mobula, you see double Gatling, because double Gatling gives you double armor shredding. One mortar by itself is usually enough to kill the target, but in this case, only a single Gatling.
Hmm. Well, they have the Gatling for that one guy. I think he's. No, he doesn't have buff. But since the Gatling is on top, I think that one guy is shooting the Gatling that doesn't have to repair anything, like hold and balloon. And this
Yeah,
could give them the necessary Gatling they would need. And the occasional Banshee when one of those engineers has time to shoot it.
yeah, it's a little strange that the center engineer does not have a buff hammer. You'd think especially since you don't have the double gat, you want that extra damage from the buff. But it looks like we are going to have the Pocket Galleon now engaging actually some nice long-range Banshee fire from the Subame leading into this engagement.
But nothing but fuck is going to intercept the Pocket Galleon too. Because Zella is not very close range oriented.
Yeah, the Pocket Galleon it's not really managed to do much. It's damaged the Firelock's balloon a little bit with like Carronade. Flamethrower's coming in, a little bit of fire, but the Wad Spire is pretty well chem sprayed, so the Flamethrower not doing much in this fight so far. Subame's coming in. Subame's going to be focusing the Firelock, going to try to finish what the Pocket Galleon started. Whole armor going down, balloon is down, Firelock's popping drogue shoot, trying to stay in the air. That's one of those things in the Spire. Once you hit the ground, you take a huge amount of damage just because it's so tall. Armor going down again. Double Banshee coming in.
They actually
But
managed to
actually,
destroy the balloon of the Mule with the Lumberjack.
yeah, just the losing the balloon from the Lumberjack, just allowing the Firelock to stay alive a little bit. And Subame is kind of squirming around on the ground. Lost about 80% of their parma hull in that drop. And this is the place you do not want to be, underneath the Lumberjack.
This is actually at the edge of the map, and the Spire could get pushed into this mountain here if it's not careful.
Yeah, in the meantime, the Pocket Galleon and the Nothing But Fog still sort of duking it out. Neither one has that much killing potential. Ooh, Tsubame with the ram. Who needs mortar when you have, an 8-ton ship to just fly through them?
I don't think the Millpool is actually that heavy. If it has any weight to it. It actually
I think
bumps
all
around.
these ships, even the lightest ship in this game, is pretty heavy, compared to a human at least.
Oh, obviously.
Pocket Galleon going for a little bit of a downward ram, misses, allowing the Nothing But Fog the opportunity to get away. Nice disable light carronade on the Pocket Galleon, taking out the heavy carronade on the Nothing But Fog. So the blue goldfish is not going to be able to return much fire, but the Firelock has spawned back in.
I tried to support his ally by shooting Lumberjack against the squid, but the Millpool is gonna give it. It's too much pressure for the Spire to ignore permanently, and they decide to turn around and shoot the Millpool.
Yeah, the Pocket Galleon at the same time, he has the Nothing But Fog on the ground, and he's taking this opportunity. He's going to leave the Nothing But Fog. He's going to focus Firelock with their ally. Oh, they're actually trading. Tsubame now going for the goldfish. I think this is probably how they wanted the engagement to go to begin with. With the squid dealing with the Spire. But Tsubame is, again, they're kind of sitting on the bottom of the map. They have nobody's repairing the whole armor for a reasonable amount of time there. They actually took a little more damage than they perhaps wanted to. But now the squid's re-engaging the Spire, balloon damage coming in, not able to take out the Firelock's balloon, so it will stay in the air. Firelock is spinning around. The Tsubame is, both ships are within the arming time of the Lumberjack, so that's not going to be an effective weapon in this fight.
No one of the Spire is actually repairing the armor. They just kept staying on the guns and they actually killed the Spire due to a ram kill.
Nothing But Fog might be able to get a kill on the Tsubame here. No, but they're choosing to engage the squid. And this will give the Tsubame time to repair and get back up in the skies. Nothing But Fog, taking a little bit of a bump. Pocket Galleon actually losing their hull armor. Pocket Galleon needs to be careful. This is actually a situation where a heavy carronade goldfish actually has the advantage in this fight, I think. Seeing that both these red ships are so heavily damaged, but they're still just not able to secure any of the kills. I guess they're really afraid of the Mobula, instead choosing to pass over and tar them and try to get away.
At the literal edge of the map. They're going to bounce back into their own town if they're not careful.
Nothing But Fog, maybe they don't realize how damaged these red ships are because they're not committing to kill one of them. They're sort of going back and forth. They're playing very evasive rather than playing aggressive. And I think they probably could have gotten the kill on the Mobula and perhaps even the squid if they had just chosen to commit to that fight.
Well, they did manage to destroy the armor and diplomat of the squid, which is grinding on the ground and dies on the bottom. The most dangerous.
And now we have the fire from the Firelock coming back in, the Lumberjack, the Flax. Tsubame's losing their balloon. They're gonna hit this terrain and die, I think, yes. So actually Nothing But Fog managing to stay alive, running distraction for long enough for the Firelock to spawn back in and get those heavy weapons back into effect, and they were able to clean up.
I think the switch that red team had was actually because the Millpool was blown, because the Millpool was stranding on the ground because of the Lumberjack. The squid had to shoot the Spire, and so the Millpool would not ground on the ground any longer. Because it already did take some primal damage, and if the squid didn't go for the Spire, I think the Millpool would have died right then and there, instead of surviving for as long as it did, in comparison. And the disconnect happened.
Yeah, Nothing But Fog losing their gunner, so we will have that pause for a little bit.
So you were talking before about how we're not seeing as many Spires as we would, even though they got buffed. And now we have Spire and the squid happening the same match.
Yeah, although on opposite teams, but yeah. It is nice to see some of these ships that historically haven't been played much, seeing them get a little love in the patch notes, and finally a little love from the competitive teams. I feel like this is sort of a little bit of a weird fight though, because we have no Gat Mortar Pyramidians, and we have no kind of like Artemis, Hades, Mobula, Junker, sort of that light weapon long range builds. We do have the Firelock. Firelock has a little bit of long range with that with the Lumberjack, and they have an Artemis of their own, but not as much disable, not as much DPS.
I wonder why that spy doesn't have any sort of piercing gun like a Mercury, Hades, or at least Gatling.
I guess they're probably relying on just the ground damage from the Lumberjack. Also, the heavy carronade. Their ally, I don't know. I guess their goal is to use the Artemis to disable the enemy weapons and then ground them and kill them once they're on the ground, using the combination of the Goldfish's heavy carronade and the Firelock's Lumberjack.
I guess so.
And both the squid and the mobula are very susceptible to balloon disable, so not a bad choice.
Yeah, Red Team is always engaged low in these few matches, and this is gonna make a very big difference if the balloon gets destroyed by a Lumberjack or Cabinet.
Yeah, it's a shorter distance.
Very close to the blue teams here.
Yeah, actually going for a little bit of an upward bump on the Firelock, taking out their own balloon. Not accomplishing much. Tsubame is really far back. The Pocket Galleon, he's left his ally. He's gone Rambo. He's just on his own. It looks like he's probably trying to distract them and let the Tsubame come in from behind, but the Tsubame was too far back. He couldn't engage fast enough.
Well, they are now in the Gatling range, and the Banshees could actually destroy the hull, and yeah, this did destroy the armor, but
actually, the Pocket Galleon doing a good job staying alive. Even though they've lost their balloon, they've lost some engines. They haven't taken... Well, whole armor now going down. They're at about half health. But at the same time, this has given Tsubame enough time to come up on the Firelock as the Pocket Galleon goes down. But the Tsubame might be able to kill the Spire here and go for an even engagement. But they need to do it before the Nothing But Fog is able to recover. And they lose their balloon. Lumberjack, that might have been... Their opportunity might have been squandered a little bit. They need to bring that balloon back up, because now Nothing But Fog's coming up behind them, and it's going to keep them grounded for the foreseeable future. I almost feel like the Firelock shouldn't be dropping here. It should just stay high, make sure there's no possibility for the Gatling and Banshee to take them out. But it probably doesn't matter.
If there's Nothing But Fog behind them, I think they were pretty confident in their ability to get a quick kill on them with their flags.
Oh no, Pocket Galleon, don't go in. Pocket Galleon, no.
he's not stopping. He's carrying.
He doesn't care, man. Pocket Galleon don't care.
Well, now he's turning.
Well,
his
now
arm actually died.
Now that he's flown into the gun arcs of both the blue ships, now he's choosing to disengage. Oh, Pocket Galleon.
What's getting into this guy?
Neil's jewels just smelling blood, I suppose. And unfortunately, even though the squid is fast, if their balloon's disabled, they're going to have a lot of difficulty getting away. All it's going to take at this point, balloon's already heavily damaged, so one Lumberjack shot will take down the squid's balloon. Although Nothing But Fog coming in a little high, not able to get any heavy caro. Pocket Galleon's actually doing a pretty good job kind of juking around this terrain piece here. And he might be able to get a fast engagement on the Firelock. No? Choosing to continue to run.
Yeah, they just want to get away and start with a better engagement, I believe.
Yeah, it did give them enough time to get some mallet hits into the balloon, so they can sustain a few. Maybe that's what they were waiting for. Just get the balloon a little healthier so they could tank a few Lumberjack shots as they run away. And at this point, they're far enough that blue team's not going to be able to put in any real damage.
And even though the squid has a balance on the back, they haven't used it in that while. Now they're gonna use some... Yeah, they did drop more mine, but I think you'll have to use some more mines. And maybe...
No, if you look, there's There's a nice trail of mines all the way back
Really?
to blue team. So yeah, there's one next to nothing
Oh,
but fog.
oh my god.
But you know, those the single file mines aren't too hard to dodge. And blue team's certainly not going to be chasing regardless. Chasing after a solo squid, usually an exercise in frustration. They're faster than you, so why bother? Especially with blue team having a 2 point lead. There's no reason to.
Especially when you destroy the balloon, because balloons change the physics so when the balloon's destroyed, the ships gain an extra amount of top speed because the drag value is reduced. So they can actually be even faster as long as they don't ram the ground. But it's actually not that much of a difference. But still,
Hmm?
um, no, man.
So Leon Cross, the pilot of the Tsubame, the Red Mobula, bringing moonshine. How do you feel about that, Daniel?
I feel that because they have Phoenix slot, they're going to lose because it's a 4-2 and they obviously have no chance of winning because they move plus Phoenix slot.
That seems like a reasonable opinion to have. Red team taking a long path around this map. I suppose they're not quite sure where blue team is. They don't want to be caught unaware. They want to make sure they have a profitable engagement because this is the last one they have. The blue team is on match point, so they cannot lose either of their ships in this next fight. They have to be very careful. But in their favor, both the blue ships are pretty heavily damaged, with at least half their hull already gone. So that definitely works in the favor of red team. They need to get some armor shredding. The Banshees could be very powerful. You know, when the targets are at low health, the Banshees get that much better just because it fires so quickly. It's so easy to land shots with the Banshee. Whereas something like a mortar, like it's hard to miss with the Banshee. It's a little easier to miss with the mortar. So, but we do have shots coming in. We have Lumberjack coming in on Tsubame. Tsubame actually dropping down, dodging a lot of those shots. Pocket Galleon losing their whole armor. Looked like maybe the heavy carronade from the Nothing But Fog taking out the whole armor of the Pocket Galleon. Their balloon finally going down as they engage the firelock.
Yeah, I think they just want to strike both these blue ships so the Mobula, the Tsubame can go in and kill one of these ships with the Gatling double Banshee. Although the Spire is not really faced by this Caminate flame of the squid while this other takes care of it. The Mobile might just grind out and that could be the end of this match here.
Yeah, interesting. The Gatling gunner / engineer on the Tsubame is actually using Lesmok. So they're gonna, they're kind of sticking back. That's one of the issues I've been seeing in this match. Is the Mobula ends up getting very far behind because the squid is so much faster, but I guess they're using Lesmok to kind of make sure they can use the Gatling even at long range. But when you do that, Lesmok reduces the armor shredding DPS of the Gatling by so much, they're not getting enough confirmed armor kills with this Lesmok Gatling.
Maybe they just want to have their early armor piercing damage and finish it up with the Banshee and then break through it continuously with close range Gatling double Banshee.
Perhaps. Pocket Galleon fighting with the Nothing But Fog. Pocket Galleon, the Tsubame is actually getting the better of the Firelock, doing a lot of damage with that Gatling Banshee, but at the same time the Pocket Galleon's in a bad spot, so the Tsubame needs to win their engagement. They need to kill the Firelock so they can go save their ally, because if their ally dies, that will be a loss for their team. And then, yeah, weren't able to do it in time. Looks like the Pocket Galleon, the squid, does go down in the face of that heavy carronade goldfish. And we will have watch over Daedalus. They will be moving forward into our losers semifinals to play against the winners of Centurions versus Cat Skyders.
Cat Skyders, yeah. And the Praetorians seem to be waiting for the loser packet to be finished already in the finals.